The street was quiet until the gunshots shattered the silence. When cops kill a little girl's police dog, unaware her father is the most lethal Delta Force commander ever. Then little girl screamed, her tiny hands trembling. Her German Shepherd, a retired police K9 named Shadow, lay motionless on the ground, his once proud body now covered in blood. She dropped to her knees beside him, her trembling hands pressed against his fur. "Please, wake up," she whispered. "You didn't do anything wrong." Two officers stood frozen, smoke still curling from their pistols. They thought they'd stopped a threat. "You didn't have to shoot," she cried. "He was just trying to protect me." The officers looked at each other, panic rising, their faces pale. "We thought he was attacking," one stammered, lowering his gun. But the truth was already too late. What they didn't know, what would change everything, was who her father really was. Thousands of miles away, deep in a classified Delta Force training compound, a man received a call that would awaken a part of him the world had long forgotten. His name, Commander Mark Jensen, former Special Forces legend, codename Phantom. And when he heard his daughter's tear-filled voice whisper, "Daddy," they killed Rex. Something inside him broke. Moments later, from the end of the street, a black SUV screeched to a halt. A tall, broad-shouldered man stepped out, eyes cold, movements calculated, the kind of presence that silenced everyone around him. He knelt beside the little girl, brushed her hair back gently, then looked up at the officers. "You just killed my dog," he said, "and you have no idea who I am." He straightened slowly. "You just declared war on the wrong man. Stay till the end, because what this father does next will leave you speechless. Before we start, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel." The sun had barely risen when the sleepy suburban neighborhood began to stir. Birds sang from the trees, sprinklers hissed across neatly trimmed lawns, and somewhere down Maplewood Lane, a little girl's laughter echoed softly. 6-year-old Lily Jensen skipped down the front steps of her home, her pink backpack bouncing with each hop. Beside her trotted a massive German Shepherd, his coat gleaming like burnished gold in the morning light. His name was Shadow, a retired police K9 who once served in the city's most dangerous unit. His badge was gone, but his loyalty remained unshaken. "Come on, Shadow." Lily giggled, clutching her lunchbox. The dog barked once, tail wagging, keeping perfect step with her small strides. Every morning the two made this same short walk to school, and every morning the neighbors paused to smile. They were inseparable, the fearless protector and the little girl who'd become his whole world. Across the street, Mrs. Henderson watered her flowers. "Morning, Lily." "Morning, Shadow."
"Morning."
Lily waved brightly. Shadow gave a low, polite woof. But today something was different. Shadow's ears twitched. His eyes flicked toward the end of the street, sharp, alert, scanning. His trained instincts had never truly faded. A delivery van sat idling longer than usual. A man leaned against it, watching just a bit too closely. Lily didn't notice. She hummed a tune from her favorite cartoon, unaware that Shadow had shifted slightly in front of her, blocking her path for a brief moment before letting her continue. "Good boy," she said, patting his neck, thinking he was just being playful, but his low growl vibrated beneath her tiny hand. They turned the corner, passing the old park fence. A jogger waved. Shadow's gaze followed until the man disappeared. Every movement, every sound, he cataloged it all. Somewhere deep in that soldier's mind, something didn't feel right. When they reached the school gate, Lily knelt beside him and hugged his thick fur. "You wait here, okay? I'll be back after class." Shadow sat calm but watchful as she ran off. His amber eyes followed her until she vanished inside. The wind shifted. A faint metallic scent, foreign, sharp, reached his nose. His muscles stiffened. Something was coming, and by sunset, this quiet street would never be the same again. It started with a single call, a neighbor reporting a large dog acting aggressive near the park. The dispatcher barely finished reading the note before two patrol officers, Officer Blake and Officer Turner, acknowledged the alert. It sounded routine. Just another complaint about a dog off leash. They arrived minutes later, their cruiser tires crunching over the gravel road. Kids played in the distance, their laughter mixing with the faint sound of barking. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, until they spotted a German Shepherd standing stiffly in the middle of the street, growling low at someone behind a parked van. Eyes on that shepherd, Blake said, stepping out of the car, hand instinctively on his weapon. Could be the one, Turner squinted. There's a kid nearby. Indeed, just a few feet away, Lily stood frozen, clutching her backpack. Shadow stood protectively in front of her, teeth bared. Not at her, but at the man crouched behind the van. The man's hands were trembling, shoving something metallic into a duffel bag. Shadow barked sharply, lunging forward a few inches. The sound shattered the stillness. The man panicked, dropped the bag, and sprinted away down the alley. But the officers didn't see him clearly. They only saw the sudden movement, the barking, the child's frightened cry. Gun. The dog's attacking the girl. Blake shouted. Turner hesitated. Wait, but it was too late. A deafening shot rang out, echoing across the park. Lily screamed. Shadow staggered, his powerful frame collapsing onto the concrete. A dark stain spread quickly beneath him. For a second there was silence, then chaos. The officers froze in disbelief, adrenaline crashing into guilt. Turner rushed forward, his voice trembling. Oh my God, the girl, is she hurt? Lily dropped to her knees, wrapping her arms around Shadow's neck. No, Shadow, wake up, she sobbed. The dog let out a soft whine, trying to lift his head, eyes filled with pain but still searching for her face. Neighbors rushed out from their homes. Someone shouted, they shot the dog. Phones came up. Cameras clicked. The officers tried to explain, but no one listened. He was attacking, Blake stammered, his voice breaking. But the crowd's anger was louder. Lily's small hands trembled as she pressed against the wound, her tears falling on Shadow's fur. He was saving me, she whispered through sobs. Shadow's breathing grew shallow. His tail thumped weakly once, as if trying to comfort her one last time. And then, stillness. Turner looked away, sick to his stomach. Blake's hands shook around his gun. We didn't know, he muttered almost to himself. But the camera phones were still rolling. The world had already chosen its side. A father's world was about to collapse, and a storm of justice was only beginning to... As the entire neighborhood stood still, the sound of Lily's cries, echoing through the street like something torn straight from a nightmare. Sirens blared in the distance, growing louder with every second, but to Lily, the world had gone silent except for the faint, uneven breaths of the dog lying in her arms. Please, she whispered, shaking him gently. You have to wake up. But Shadow didn't move. His eyes fluttered, his chest rose one last time, then stilled completely. The weight of that silence crushed her. Neighbors rushed forward, shouting at the officers. He wasn't attacking her. That dog saved that child. You didn't even check. The voices collided in a storm of outrage. A woman filmed the scene, her voice trembling. This is going online, she said. Officer Blake stepped back, pale and sweating. It was self-defense, he muttered weakly. Turner's jaw clenched. You shot too soon, he whispered, guilt already settling in. Lily pressed her face into Shadow's fur, sobbing so hard her tiny body shook. Blood stained her hands and the hem of her pink shirt. He was trying to protect me, she choked out between breaths. He was my best friend. The first backup units arrived, sirens flashing red and blue across the quiet houses. Paramedics approached, but Lily screamed when one of them tried to pull her away. Don't touch him. He's my dog. An officer crouched beside her, voice gentle. Sweetheart, we need to help him. You already hurt him, she yelled, her voice breaking with pure heartbreak. Turner turned away, unable to meet her eyes. His radio crackled, someone from dispatch asking for a status report. But he couldn't bring himself to answer. The paramedics finally lifted Shadow's body onto a stretcher, wrapping it carefully, but Lily refused to let go until one of them promised, We'll take care of him, I swear. Only then did she release his paw, her hand trembling like a leaf in the wind. As the ambulance pulled away, the street was flooded with flashing lights, officers, and anger. Neighbors shouted for justice, recording everything. Blake stood frozen, his weapon lowered, staring at the bloodstain on the pavement. He knew, deep down, something had gone horribly wrong, and it wouldn't stay buried for long. Because somewhere, miles away, a man was about to get a phone call that would turn grief into fury, and fury into vengeance. The sound of tires screeching against asphalt shattered the tense silence. A black SUV swerved to a halt in front of the flashing police lights. Its door flew open before the engine even stopped. A man stepped out, tall, broad-shouldered,